Hi, ladies. Oh, hi, Fabe. Oh, this is just a delight to see all these lovely faces. Hi, Jan. Hi, Katie. Hi, Susie. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Marianne. Girls, I've got to be honest. This should probably be like a 5-week course. Hi, Marianne. Yeah, this should definitely be a 5-week course. I was just reviewing the PowerPoint there going, oh my goodness, we could be here for longer than an hour and a half. However, you'll get the recording. You can sit on it, mull on it afterwards, and I could just geek out on this stuff all day. Has everybody got their cups of tea? I've got my Empowered Women Empower Women cup. Ovs. Nice. Oh, this is good. This is going to be good. I'm really, really excited about this. I've been geeking out. Oh, here's lovely Karen. Let Karen in as well. I've been geeking out on this all weekend. I lost about 4 hours of my life to money mindset course creation yesterday. Not course, masterclass. We're here for a masterclass. Hiya, Karen. So, ladies, this is not one of those like me talk at you things. I want to get the chat going. I want to hear all your answers, any thoughts that come up, all the things. Karen, I know you're really good in the chat, so do feel free to, pen and paper. You'll probably need pen and paper as well. Definitely have pen and paper handy. But let's make this interactive and let's just like talk about money. Really excited. Can you tell I'm excited? Yeah, use the chat. You will get the recording, so don't worry about taking a million notes. And let's get started. Okay. Transform your money story. Shift your mindset, unlock abundance, and elevate your income. How cool is that, by the way? I like my title. I'm happy with that title. Okay, let's get going. So in this masterclass, here's my mission for the next 90 minutes. I'm going to show you how to release money blocks to eliminate subconscious sabotage, stuff like undercharging, right? Which every client I've worked with definitely undercharges. We're going to rewire some limiting beliefs and we're going to create some empowering stories about money and align your mindset with wealth and abundance. Okay, we are here not just to make enough money, we are here to be in excess and overflow. So by the end of our time together, the plan is hopefully you're going to understand how to consciously, that word conscious, right? This just doesn't naturally happen. This is a proactive process. So consciously creating a whole new relationship with money. And full transparency, I will be sharing more information on how you can work with me at the end. Okie dokie, let's go. Who recognizes this lovely lady? If you have been in my workshops or masterclasses before, you'll know that I'm a massive fan of Denise Duffield-Thomas, and she is the money mindset queen, in my opinion. Here's me looking very like red hot and sweaty because it was so hot in the hotel and I got so flustered when she came over to me for a photo that I tried to like stand up off my seat, tripped over my seat and landed on her foot and was like mortified that I'd literally like broken her toe or something. But bless her, she was so lovely. But the reason I'm talking about Denise, not only should you all buy her books because they're like hilarious. She's got ADHD, she's a mum of 3, and she just like says it how it is. They're really useful as well, but they're also really funny. I just love this quote from Denise, and it's, you have to decide now that you are enough. You are smart enough, you are pretty enough, you are clever enough, and you are ready enough. And you can be richer starting today if you're brave enough to define exactly what you want. I mean, I just love everything about this quote. It's that decisiveness that I'm all in, I'm up for it, I'm absolutely worth it. Of course I am. And to actually give yourself permission to lean into those big dreams and desires, not even the little ones, the big ones, when people go, that's not real, that's not realistic. Have you ever had that comment before? I have. Don't be so unrealistic. You're dreaming. I love Denise. Love you, Denise. Okay, tell me in the chat box, give me a little yes if you can resonate with this. Have you ever felt worried about setting your prices just too high? Because people might say no and you might be rejected, and there's that fear of rejection or judgment, like who does she think she is charging those kinds of prices? and you doubt whether your work is even worth the rates you would really, really like to charge. Who can resonate with this? Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Karen says, of course. Yeah. It's a legitimate fear, right? What about this one? You have a little bit of difficulty relaxing into trust that money will come, and often can get into a bit of a stress about that feast or famine cycle. And you feel a bit uncertain about when the next client or sale or opportunity will come. Rachel's like, this one is a hell yes. That's me. Well, Rachel, you're not alone. Paula says, that's my brain today. Marianne says, yes. Yeah. This is the thing. This is the power of coming together for these kind of classes, because you think you're the crazy one, that you're all alone and thinking and feeling like this. You're not. We're all like this. Okay, what about this one? You feel like you've hit a bit of a glass ceiling in your business and you aren't sure how to break through to that next level. So despite consistent revenue, you're making money. You might be making just enough to pay your bills, but you're unsure how to scale or grow further without risking burnout or losing what you've already built. That's a legitimate fear a lot of my clients have. Like, if I want to double my earnings, oh my God, I'm going to have to work double as hard. And they're like, I'm already exhausted. I'm at capacity. And there's this fear that, like, if I want to earn more money, then I have to work harder. Or, like it says, losing what you've already built. Anyone resonate with that one? Rachel says this one less so, but still yes. Okay. What about this one? You feel conflicted about wanting more money, influenced by those lovely subconscious core beliefs, or societal conditioning rather, like money is bad, or it's greedy to want more. And this sort of internal conflict, that can create a lot of resistance. Rachel, stop calling me out. Sorry, Rach. But it's blocking you from fully embracing and attracting the wealth you desire, right? There's this, I mean, if you think of any big blockbuster movie, the person who wants to be rich is like the baddie, right? It's the villain. Look at all the Disney movies, for God's sake. There's this piece in our societal conditioning that money is a bad thing to have. And if you want money, you must be evil. Susie says, not anymore, but it used to be a huge one for me, thanks to my parents. Oh, yes, I very much grew up with the money doesn't grow on trees, Gemma, kind of thing. Thanks, mum and dad. Okay, what about this one? You are done holding yourself back and sabotaging the success that you dream about. You just have this like, oh, I'm just done with this. And you know that your muddled money mindset is costing you big time. Yeah, so yeah, yes, yes. Brilliant. Okay, so you're at the right place. Perfect. Okay, let's do it. So the one thing I want you to understand, and this is going to sound a bit woo for the scientists out there, Susie, looking at you. Everything is energy. Everything has energy, and the energy with which you do a thing determines the outcome of that thing. Okay, so what the hell does that mean? So it means that the intention or expectation and emotion in which you do a thing, you take action, has more to do with the result of that action than you have allowed yourself to realize. So, for example, I'll give you a bit of context. A few years ago, I was working with a coach, and I was like, look, I'm doing all the things. Oh my God, I am an action taker. Tell me what to do, I'll do it. And I felt like I was working so hard and doing all the strategies and spending all the money on business coaches and marketing courses and doing all the things. And my coach said, okay, but what energy are you doing those things from? And I was like, well, I'm feeling pretty desperate now. My money was like very low. I just started my business. My bank balance was constantly at zero. And I was like, it feels like, if I'm honest with you, like this neediness, like this I called it like desperate guy at the bar energy. Not the nicest. And she was like, okay, so let's try just to experiment coming at these actions, the exact same actions from a different energy, an energy of absolute trust and faith and certainty and conviction and confidence. And I was like, well, that sounds great. Let's try that. And honestly, that was a lot of work for me to do that because I was so triggered by seeing my bank balance. But I every time like practiced every single day shifting into this like unshakable certainty, and everything changed. Like my business has exploded from then on in. And even I was quite shocked to sort of like to experience that personally. But that was like that was it for me. I'm like, I'm all in on this because I've seen the evidence now that it works. So everything is energy. The thoughts you think, feelings you feel, words you say, ways you move, all create an energy within you. Okay, so energy is created through the emotions that you feel in your body, is created through the words that you think, that comes out your mouth, that you write down. Energy is created through visualization and imagination. And it's also created through holding an intention. So what does that mean? That just means being absolutely clear on what it is that you want from something. Everything has a frequency also. So when you choose to think thoughts and feel feelings and say words and move in ways that bring about a feeling that's a typo, within you, you are now vibrating at that frequency. Okay, so this is getting very quantum physics-y. But as you vibrate at that frequency, you attract from that frequency. And everything has a frequency, including money. So think of yourself like a tuning fork. You know, a tuning fork attracts the same vibration, right? You are literally like a tuning fork through what you are thinking and how you are feeling. And you'll know yourself, like, have you ever been to you sort of walked into a room and there's been maybe two people arguing or fighting, and there's that phrase, isn't there? Like, oh God, you could cut the tension with a knife. Like it's awkward. Like you can feel that, like, ooh, that tension in the air, compared to when you're at a party or a concert or a gig or a wedding and everyone's having a great time and you're just on like a high for days afterwards. You can feel that buzz in your body. You're like, God, that was a good night. That's how I like to think about this stuff. Everything has a frequency, and you can consciously and purposefully create the frequency that you want to vibrate from. Okay, so yes, as you vibrate at a frequency of more money coming to you, the easier you will create more of that reality. And I'm not saying this is easy. This is a practice. It's not like you can just go to the gym and start lifting heavy weights. This is a daily practice. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys already, but just in case you don't know me, my story is that I spent 15 years working as a behavior analyst. I built a really nice little business serving autistic children and their families. And here's me doing some one-to-one therapy with a little boy and his mummy. When I became a mum, this is a really old picture now, but when I became a mum, things shifted for me big time. I really had this like yearning to be a lot more present with my kids, because what I was very quickly realizing that I was that mum who was literally writing like social media posts and emails in my head whilst I was bathing the baby or trying to read a storybook. I was never present. I was constantly thinking, how can I grow my business? How can I have more time with my kids, but also increase my income? And so I moved into the online space in 2016, something like that, and tried to create an online course, an online membership, and it actually went really well, but it was so much harder than I expected. Okay, so like I said earlier, I did all the marketing courses, I bought all the business coaches, I invested, I was happy to invest in my business, that wasn't a problem. And yet I still felt like I wasn't getting to where I wanted to get to until COVID hit and the world stopped. And I just had, I think like a lot of us, that moment of like reflection in terms of like, I don't even know if I like my business anymore. But I didn't even go there first. I went to, oh, this is a confidence issue. This is imposter syndrome. This must be me. This is a problem. I'm broken. I'm not good enough. The reason why my business isn't where I want it to be is I'm not working hard enough, or I'm not doing the right things. I'm still missing some elusive piece of the marketing strategy. Oh my God. And I just had normalized this level of frustration, exhaustion, and felt pretty dejected, if I'm honest. The in-person business was going really well, but I really wanted to pull back on that. And I was always just making enough money, like always, never like, I remember my husband saying to me when I had the babies, if you could just make 2 grand a month, great. And I was like, perfect, I'll do that. Never made any less, never did made any more. It was just always hovering at that, around about that amount. I also noticed I was in perpetual, like, trying to figure out the how, like over analyzing, very solution focused, constantly trying to figure out how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I scale this online business? Obsessed with it, to be honest with you. Like I said, in-person business was very busy, online business pretty hard. And over time, I now know, looking back, that I formed this belief of it's obviously meant for other people, not me. Okay. Does anybody else resonate with that? Has anyone else had that thought of like, it's got to be for like the other half? And I remember my mum and dad saying, oh, that's how the other half lives. You know, when it comes to money, that's not us. We came from a pretty like working class background. My dad worked on the oil rigs, like 12-hour shifts, pretty dangerous work. He'd be away for like weeks on end. So I was brought up with that sort of like mentality of if you want to make ends meet, you have to work really long hours and really hard. And money doesn't grow on trees, and you don't always get what you want. Does anybody else feel like that? Does anyone else experience that sort of childhood? Let me know in the chat box. But yeah, I definitely sort of had this belief that I'm obviously not working hard enough, and I have to be missing some magic marketing strategy or something like that. Karen says, I got all the same messages. Rachel, for me, it's not possible for me because I've got ADHD and I'm still working on the shame that comes with not doing things the way others do. Yeah, Megan says yes to all those messages. Marianne, yes, similar messages. Yeah, we're all like, I think we all have this tendency to be sucked into like, oh, there's this business blueprint. We've got to do it their way. I've done it all the ways now, and I can tell you, like, none of the ways that I've been promised is the way to making, you know, $1 million with a yacht by Friday. It's just, they don't work because it has to be in alignment with you. It has to be in alignment with your values, and it has to be fun. And that's it. I've literally got a post-it note on my desk over there, and it says, would this be fun? And I look at it every time I'm about to implement a strategy in my business. I look at that. Would it be fun? Well, I'm not doing it if it's not. Because when you're not in that sort of high vibe of excitement, you're not in your flow, and then things don't work out that you want the way that you want them to be. Now, as an ex-hustler, because I worked hard, now I recognize the difference between in a flow state and in a hustle state. Everything works out the way I want it to be when I'm in my flow state, and I'm in my flow state when I'm having fun. Okay, so at COVID time, and you know, the world stopped, and I was like, oh, it's, you know, I think I'm going to invest something in me. And this woman had said, oh, you should see a mindset coach. And the scientist in me literally, like, inward eye roll. I was like, no, that's not for me. Just give me another business coach. Thanks very much. And it was $5,000. I was like, oh my God, that's so much money. But anyway, I bit the bullet. And long story short is it pretty much changed my life, these 12 weeks, because I learned that like it's actually not so much about looking outside of yourself and looking outside of, you know, trying to find other people to help me to fix how I'm feeling and fix me. It's actually about doing the inner work to identify first and release the limiting beliefs that were holding me in this kind of pattern of self-sabotage and this hustle energy and working really hard and throwing money at people to try and fix it. I knew nothing about mindset. I knew nothing about managing thoughts or feeling feelings. And every time someone said to me, you know, just drop into your body, I literally wanted to punch them in the face. I didn't get it, didn't understand any of this stuff. But I made some pretty big decisions within these 12 weeks, because the very first session of this with this coach, she had said to me, I don't think this has anything to do with confidence with you. Because I was like, oh, I just need to get a PhD. That's what I thought. I was like, I just need to get a PhD and I need to write a book. That was my other thing. Then I'll feel good enough. And she was like, I actually think maybe you have fallen out of love with your business. And it felt like someone had just punched me in the gut. I actually got quite angry. I got really defensive. And she was just like, there's a red flag here and we need to investigate it. And as soon as we unraveled it all, I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with this business that was everything to me at the time, absolutely everything. It was a big deal. And then the more I worked with her, I was like, I think I love this work that you're doing with me. It was very analytical. So as a behavior analyst, I kind of liked that, but it was all about the inner work, right? It was all about uncovering patterns and beliefs and distorted thinking patterns. So I started a new business. I trained. I did a training with the Quantum Leap Coach Academy. Marianne also has been in that space with me. And I decided, gosh, this will be the end of year 3 for me. So 3 years ago that I was going to start this new business. And I really had this like vision of empowering women across the globe, like super cheesy vision of like just the ripple effect of like being able to change lives. That's my vision. So yeah, as I mentioned, there was some conflict. It wasn't all easy. There was massive resistance to this whole drop into your body. I just wanted to figure it out in my head. Just tell me what I'm thinking and I'll change the thoughts. What I learned the hard way was your body holds way more answers than we give it credit for. The other conflict was I really wanted to be right. I realize now I didn't want to be wrong. And getting coached, that was quite challenging for me because I'm like, I don't like it when I'm not right. And then the final piece of this, and probably the most important bit, I was so super skeptical, like really skeptical. In fact, 2 weeks into my coach training, I asked for a refund because I was like, this is not for me. And it all came down to letting go of control and that piece around co-creating, which we'll talk about a little bit later. However, there's a happy ending. I had much more awareness about my thoughts, feelings, and responding behavior. So this totally fell in line with all of my training as a behavior analyst. I loved it. But the awareness was like, I felt like I was like, I had some sort of superpower to really understand. I felt like I was having like an outer body experience, if I'm honest, because I could really see myself. Oh, here I am again in my habitual way of thinking and feeling and responding. Put it down, step back and out of it, and change it. And this was really freeing because it meant that I could also reconnect with the real me, because I realized just how much of me was pretty much based on societal conditioning and all these limiting beliefs, which I'd kind of just taken on as a kid and as a young adult. And I started giving myself more and more permission to sort of follow my joy compass as well. And yeah, everything just felt right for the first time in a long time. It just felt fully aligned. The stuff that I was doing, the stuff I was creating. And it was just this, like, I talk a lot about inspired action. And what does that even mean? It just means you're getting these light bulb like moments, these ideas, these little golden nuggets, and you take action on them rather than sort of over analyzing them or like putting them one side and procrastinating. So I got very good very quickly at taking fast, messy action that felt fun. And if it didn't always work out, I didn't make it mean anything about me. And honestly, the results have been pretty amazing. This coaching business has taken off in ways that I never would have dreamed of. And I just love working with my ladies. I attract the best ladies into my life, and the money is awesome as well. So the actual transformation here, when I compare like before and after, it was like self-doubt, frustration, lack, scarcity. And now it's just this unshakable self-belief and trust and confidence and self-worth. And I think if you had to have a recipe for like stepping into your best self, those are the words I would pick. And I feel like the whole like making mistakes or failing is like that was something I was not okay with as a behavior analyst in my previous business. But I'm really cool with that now. And it's about failing fast and failing forward. And I'm like, let's go. What else can I learn? What feedback can I get from that? Other people's opinions of me. So I'm the type of girl that I wear my heart on my sleeve. And with my autism business, I got quite a lot of trolling online, basically because of the specific approach or kind of therapy that we used. And I really made them mean something about me. I would just take it to heart every time, like a stab in the heart. I got a negative comment. Now, other people's opinions of me, it's kind of like water off a duck's back. And I don't say that lightly at all, because that took a lot of work to get there. But now it's just not a thing. And then there's the trust and faith and money that we're going to dive into today. That's been a game changer. Setting and maintaining boundaries. Yoga is now a non-negotiable, just like brushing my teeth. It used to be a proper luxury. And I'm all about with my clients, like creating more white space in their calendar. Let's work less, earn more, so that we have our cups full, so that when we show up for our clients, we're giving them 110%. And just the ripple effect as well. I'm a way better wife, much better mom, better friend. I love that. Okay, so after 15 years, I discovered the hard way that working really, 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 really hard and over focusing on solutions and trying to figure out the how and external strategies, it is not the key to success in making more money and making money in abundance. It just doesn't work. Managing your thoughts and feelings on a daily basis is. And if you told me that even just a few years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, right. I just wouldn't have believed it. But it's true, ladies. So if you've been struggling to make those big money months consistently, this is probably why. You are, like I was, over focusing on action plans and strategies while you're still stuck in old paradigms and identities that are preventing money from flowing to you, basically because you're not aligned with this new way of showing up in the world with certainty and faith. Who agrees with that? Let me know if you agree. Let me know your thoughts on that. Oopsie. That's my opinion. That's what I see with my ladies. Paula says, wow, this hits home for me. Karen, that's my motto 2025. Work less, earn more, and deepen, broaden, and widen my impact and its ripple effect. Yes, love that, Karen. Yeah, because this is the thing. Like when you're told, like, do this strategy and this marketing, and you're like, oh, great. And then it all feels really fearful, and you're not used to showing up in the world like that, taking those big, bold, money-making moves. Karen says, yes, it's the energetic foundations that make support making the shifts. Yes, this is resonating. Great, Megan. Awesome. Okay, so here's a question for you. Let me know in the chat. We've already kind of talked about it. Did you grow up hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees? That was honestly the most famous one I heard. Or what about this one? Money is the root of all evil. Jan, I think it was you that came up with that the other day. And you can't always get what you want. Stephanie says, heard those too often. Who does he think he is? Yeah, Rachel, my dad about the man with the nice car. Yes. Well, that was the other one I got. That's how the other half lives. Yeah. Okay, tougher questions. I want you to take some time here, ladies. Megan says, oh yes, money doesn't grow on trees. Right, tougher questions. What are your first thoughts that you think when you think about money? Now, you can absolutely type this into the chat box. I've given you a few prompts there, or if you don't feel comfortable sharing, no problem. Just write them on a bit of paper. But what's the first thought that comes to your mind when you think of money? And then I want you to consider these. I'd invite you to consider these questions around money, right? What are you afraid of? What stories or memories really bother you? And what have you not forgiven yourself for? Perhaps you made some, like me, made some pretty massive investments in business coaches and they just didn't pay off. Or what have you not forgiven someone else for? And is there anything else you feel ashamed about when it comes to money? And then the last one is, what do you wish you could change? So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to really lean into these questions and just, there's no judgment here, right? Whatever comes up, comes up. Then maybe we could do a couple of shares. Would anybody feel comfortable sharing? If you want to unmute. Susie, was that a hand raise? Go for it.
I wasn't gonna, but I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Come
Well,
up.
I think writing the answers, it just made me realize a bit more that since having kids and not being able to earn the amount I used to before kids, and being reliant on my husband kind of subsidizing me and giving me money, it's always been like almost like looking for permission to spend on the things the family needs rather than what I want.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest for me. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Good awareness. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Paula, would you like to share?
Yeah, I was really reflecting then as you were asking us the questions that one of the stories from my mum when we were children is that so my mum used to say she could make £0.5 of mince last for a week. And that kind of scarcity approach was something to be applauded, and that
Mm.
you should not want anything that was frivolous or
Yeah.
showy. So I know I've got that real mindset of not wanting to show off, not wanting to say that I want any more, and almost living in that kind of deficit model and being proud of that.
Yes, yes. I totally resonate with that as well. Yeah. Does anybody else resonate with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
Alison says, oh my God, Paul, I so identify with that. Yeah. So Karen's saying here, as a child, stealing money from my mum's purse on a few occasions and also from my uncle's pockets, which I didn't own up to. Not proud of stealing sweeties from the local shop, always felt in lack. I've also made big investments that haven't really changed anything. Yeah. And Jan says, looking after the pennies and the punts will look after themselves. And Alison, my ADHD brain leaves me vulnerable to impulse spending. I feel like I need to up my financial target so I can afford to get around the things that trip me up. Yeah. Pounds. I did wonder, Jan. Look after the pennies and the punts. The pounds will look after themselves. Yeah. It's so interesting. This is why the topic of money fascinates me, that with what can come up for people. Okay, we've got more to do. So yeah. Let me ask you this. If you had, just play with me for a second, but if you had unshakable certainty and trust that money flows to you in excess and overflow, not just we just need enough to pay the bills, do you think that would allow you to show up in your business in a way that feels good and aligned with your values and beliefs? Give me a yes or no in the chat box. I'd love to know. Yes, yes, completely. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. I totally agree. And this has been this I've experienced it, right? The second I go into doubt, my husband was made redundant in the summer, and I felt the doubt creep in and the fear creep in, and I was like, and I went from having like a 15K month in August to like 5 or 6 in September. And I was like, oh, yeah, there goes that reflection of the doubt and the fear. So yeah, I think I really believe that this is the work, right? To be in that unshakable certainty and trust that money is going to come up even before you don't see it, right? That's the piece here. So I want you to start treating money just like any other area of your life. Your relationship with money is created with your thoughts. Okay, I want you to remember that. So what do I mean by that? Basically, the way you think creates what's financially possible for you. Okay, just like when I was having my babies, because my husband had said, if you just bring in 2 grand a month, I was like, okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I need to make. That's all I made. No more, no less. And I think, Rachel, you mentioned that to me recently as well with your income. It's like, okay, you're told to make this amount. That's what you're just going to do. You just make it happen. Money always magnifies what's going on inside of you. So if you are thinking, like Paula was just saying there, in lack and scarcity energy, which also, by the way, includes, I don't have time, you will attract more of that. That it's just, it is like you are a mirror, and your outer world reflects your inner world. I know that's a bit of a cliche to say as well, but it is true. So I want you to really lean into this. You are in charge of how life goes for you. And honestly, when I realized, like, when I learned all about this stuff, and somebody kind of, my coach was like, yeah, you are responsible with your thoughts and feelings for the results that you're creating in the world. It was really like a fuck moment. Like, seriously? You're telling me this is my fault? That's a kind of bitter pill to swallow, right? So I want you to stop believing that anything outside of you is responsible for the money you have or the money you're capable of generating. Now, that can be really a tricky one to sink in, right? But you are solely responsible. And it's that responsibility, like taking 100% responsibility for what you can create. So what you choose to create from here is not defined by how clever you are, how many certifications you have, your past, your financial debt, all of that. It's not, it just doesn't, it's not a thing. It just doesn't work that way. The amount of money you make and create is based on what you're thinking and feeling now, today, tomorrow. Okay, let me know how that resonates. So you can change anything by changing the energy you bring to that thing. Okay, so by changing the thoughts that you think about that thing, and remember, this isn't just a magic wand, this is a practice. The emotions you feel about that thing, also a practice. You can change and rearrange any reality. So again, if you told me that just a few years ago, I would have just like laughed in your face. How does that land with you guys? Do you believe in this? Do you believe that statement? Or are you a bit like, just give me the marketing strategy, please? Karen says, yes. Paula says, yes. If you're an action taker like me, you might be leaning towards, I would quite like a plan. And I'm a Virgo, so I love a step-by-step plan. And as a behavior analyst, it was all about behavioral interventions and procedural integrity. But this really is the crux of it. Jan, I'm struggling to believe that, to be honest. Oh, tell me more, Jan. What's coming up for you that makes you go with a bit of skepticism? Feel free to unmute, Jan, by the way. You don't have to.
Well, I'm not not so much thinking about money, although that is also a thing. Just specific relationships in my life, because I just feel, yeah, surely the other person's got to do something too.
What do you mean, Jan? Like in terms of the situations that you're in? Like, tell me more what you mean by that.
Oh, yeah, my colleague at work who basically we've fallen out from being best friends, and I feel like it would be lovely to change that situation. I don't really believe I can do that just by myself, but maybe I could.
Yeah, I see what for a relationship, it's like it's a two-way thing, right? But it's the same with a relationship to anything, relationship to yourself, the relationship to money. So it's like if you were really honest with yourself, when you think of her, isn't it? Not him, her?
Her.
Yeah. When you think of her, what are your actual honest thoughts and feelings about her?
Anger. Yeah, so I could kind of see how I'm creating that energy. She's angry with me. I'm angry with her. We're just.
Yeah. So it's like the second you go into like anger, frustration, overwhelm, anxiety, you're in a contracted state. And it's like, boom, the doors all shut. The second you go up into elevated emotions, love, joy, passion, gratitude, creativity, doors open again. So if you genuinely wanted to salvage this relationship, you would have to shift into that state of being. And also changing your perspective of how you see her and channeling those resources to her. So instead of seeing her as this angry, bitter person that you expect, you just expect her to show up from this loving, whatever you want to, you know, set place of connection, whatever you friendship, whatever resource you want to infuse her with, because it's your perception.
Yeah, okay, I get that. And I can see how that applies to money as well.
Yeah.
And
One
yeah,
of
it's
those-
work, isn't it?
Say that again, Jan.
It's doing the work and keeping that
Doing the
focus.
work.
Quite
It's doing the
hard.
work. And wouldn't it be nice if there was a magic wand? There's not. This is a practice. And like I mean, I know we've talked about this a little bit, Jan, but like for everybody else here, one of the most valuable exercises I've ever done. And I'm glad you brought that up, Jan, because it's kind of the same thing. You should all totally do this. I forgot to put this in this masterclass. You should write a letter to money as if you are in a relationship with money, like a friend, or it could be a romantic relationship, doesn't matter. But write a letter to money and see what comes up. And Jan's heard this story before. Maybe you have as well, Susie. But I did this a few years ago in a different program, and there was a lot of people in the Zoom, and she was like, does anybody want to share? And this woman, I'll never forget, she had the little Birmingham accent. She's from Birmingham. And she showed up and she just read out her letter, which was an absolute love letter, super gushy, like, I love you, money, and you're always there for me. And, you know, you've always got my back and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here going, oh shit, I have totally got this wrong. Mine was a breakup letter. It was like, you're never there when I need you. Why is it so hard to find you? It's just this rant. Anyway, I did share mine, and the lady, bless her, who was hosting the course, she was like, imagine you actually said those things to money, Gemma. Like, what do you think would happen? I was like, it would just leave. We wouldn't stand around listening to that. She's like, right, so can you see that you are repelling money by thinking and feeling in that way? And I was like, yeah, maybe you're right. Megan, I understand and resonate with it, but it's hard when your spouse lives in scarcity. I know I can only manage myself. I also love templates. Yes, Megan, I can also resonate with this. I live with a realist as well, but you're absolutely right. You are not responsible for other people's thoughts and feelings, right? All you can do is your own work. And so just focus on that. You know, you can just, whatever your partner says to you about money, you decide whether you let it in or it bounces off. Okay, let's keep going. So activating your power. So how do you create a new life, a new realm of possibility? This used to annoy me as well when I would hear stuff like this. You just decide. Great, like what? But it just comes down to a decision. From here on in, I am going to be the kind of woman who attracts like dream clients effortlessly, who makes 10, 15, 20K months. And you actually lean into that, like that powerful part of you that makes important decisions. But you do need to do a couple of things before you do that. You also have to decide right now that you are absolutely worthy. And also that what you want is possible. Now, here's the thing with that. If you can imagine it, it's possible. Because if it wasn't possible, how could you have imagined it? Does that make sense? Stephanie, I'm learning the mindset of welcoming money like a guest into my home. What can I do to make her feel welcome, desired, and that she is enough? Oh, I love that, Stephanie. Absolutely love that. Yeah, so you need to actually feel into this, because if you're imagining it's already done. Yes, Megan, you're talking my language. That's the thing. If you can imagine it, it's already done. Okay, so this is the very quantum physics as well. But you want to be in that imaginary space as much as possible. And this is what I found with my clients. We'll talk about it in a coaching session, and then they'll like do nothing for the next week. And I'm like, did you spend time with your desired outcome? They're like, well, I thought about it for 5 seconds. Like, no, you actually need to spend time with your big desired outcome every day, every single day, imprinting that visualization, that image on your subconscious brain that this is what I'm creating. This is what I want. Your desire exists for a reason. And you can have it. You just need to spend more time with it so that your subconscious can do its magic. So if you want a big expansive life, big expansive results, it's really time to give up goals that are practical and logical. And this goes against all stuff that you'll hear from business coaches talking about like SMART goals. But in my kind of coaching, we go for the big dream goals that are literally feel impossible. Like, I don't know how to make £1 million. That just feels, for me, that feels like really stretchy. But I used to think that about making like £10,000 months. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. And now that's been done. So it's like, it's time to think in a big, expansive way. And if you know how to do it, it's not big enough. It's time to make decisions from a big, expansive place as well. So the number one determinant for your success, I believe, is your capacity to manage your mind. It's not how many business strategies you learn, and your own mind will trip you up. Remember that. Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. How to bring anything you desire into your physical reality. This is sometimes the hardest part, is just identifying what you want. It's amazing how many people that can trip up that question, like, what do you want? People are like, I don't know. Okay, what do you not want? So identifying what you want. And I love this question. If nothing bad would happen, no matter what you did, what would you want? And if you could fully trust yourself to do your part, what would you want? I'd love to hear your big dreams, ladies, in the chat box, if you're happy to share them. What is like the big, stretchy, that feels impossible, I've got no clue how to do it, the big, big, stretchy goals, the big desires? Yes, Karen, impossible equals I'm possible. Love it. Love it. Alison did some work.
Oh, sorry.
What's
Sorry,
that?
I didn't. I didn't realize I was talking over you. Sorry, that was rude.
No, go for it.
Can I share a little resistance? Because I'm not ready to do this yet because there's two things that I'm hung up on that I'm realizing. Thanks very much. Number
Pleasure.
one, I know I am terrified when people talk about 10K months. That terrifies me because if I do 10K every month for a year, I will hit the VAT threshold, owe the government £19,000 or whatever it is, 80, like, and I'll be fucked because I can't do. We're allowed to swear. I forgot. Because paperwork is difficult for me and admin is difficult for me. So like earning enough that I hit the VAT threshold is terrifying from an administrative point of view. I'm worried I'll do it accidentally because it's gross and not net, and it's a rolling year, so you can hit it anytime. Like, you can hear how stressed I am about the prospect of earning more than £90,000. And then the other one is which I know how to work on better. For me, I think that earning the kind of money that will facilitate the dreams that I have will require such a level of increased visibility that I will therefore be trolled, criticized, have people write weird comments on my stuff online. Like, if my online space is small and it's just people I like, it's my friends, it'll be fine. But if I blow up and become an Instagram sensation and everybody wants to be photographed by me, then you get the equal amount of like shitheads. So I'm not ready to do this yet because those thoughts are in my head going, no, but you'll have to pay VAT and people will troll you.
Yeah, but this is so good because this is what this type of stuff does. This is what this kind of stuff does. It brings up all the shit. So when we give ourselves permission to lean into what we really, really want, like if my success was guaranteed, I love that. What would I really want? Well, I'd really love this. And then it's like, boom. Oh my God, VAT. Oh my God, I'm going to get trolled. Oh my God, great. Bring it all up. Let's just face the shit. Like, just bring it on and be like, okay, let's be honest about the fact there's these genuine thoughts and it's causing stress in my body, even just talking about it out loud. And write it down, Rachel. Like, write it down. Getting it into black and white, seeing it tangible creates a little bit of distance. That's the first helpful thing. It's not just whirring around in your head, but you see it in paper so you can step back and out of it and be like, okay, let's quality control these thoughts. Now you need to get your little, like, I just imagine my little guy at the factory with his little like crappy white penny four thingy and his clipboard, and he's like checking all the parts going the conveyor belt. Like, is that a good one? No. Is that a good one? Yes. Like, you're going to quality control your thoughts and decide, like, do any of these thoughts serve me? Do they keep me safe? Do they allow my big dreams to come true? Are they even true? Now, there's some validity in your VAT one, right? Like, yeah, that's a genuine fear. What can I do about it? I could hire an accountant, a bookkeeper. You know, there's all like it's about stepping back and out of it, quality controlling the thoughts, and then designing thoughts that serve you better to help you reach your desired outcome. And listen, maybe you're fine hitting like 80K and not 90K where there's nothing wrong with being cozy and comfortable, because that came up with a client the other day. She was like, I'm actually quite happy where I'm at. Fantastic, great. This isn't all about becoming millionaires just to stretch ourselves and be miserable in the process. But if you're yearning for something more and you know you're holding yourself back, that's a different story, right? Does that help?
Thank you. Yes, I love the compare, but I was furiously taking notes. I love that. Let's quality control those thoughts. And yeah, and are they keeping me safe? They're trying to, and it's that what you and I were talking about. Like, okay, I see this fear is trying to keep me safe. It's trying to protect me. Like, thanks for being here, but like, let's add some other perspectives too.
Yes, thanks, brain. Like, I
Yeah.
so appreciate that you're just a fully functioning brain that's doing your job properly, which is to keep me safe. But actually, I've got bigger plans here, and I've got this, which you absolutely do, Rachel. You have the resources and the contacts to manage all of that. And what if you could make loads of money and not have to increase your visibility? That's just another alternative, you know? What if it didn't require you to do that at all? And what if you did increase your visibility and you didn't get trolled? And what if you did increase your visibility and you did get trolled and that wasn't even a thing because it was like me now with my, it's just water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
There's all these different alternative thoughts that you could think. You always want to interrogate the hell out of your thoughts. Always. Because usually they're lies. Not all the time, but usually they are. Okay, Stephanie says, signing my first 5 clients into my signature program by March next year. Amazing. That's exciting, Stephanie. Paula wants to deliver a group program to women stuck in toxic organizations who want to create change for themselves. Paula, I'd love that. Amazing. I recognize I'm scared of being successful. Oh, Paula, that comes up a lot. And the expectations that will come with that. Yes, that's a very common one. And Rachel feels that too. Jan, founding the School of Light in collaboration with others. By the way, everybody is amazing. So you need to connect with Jan and her School of Light. She's got big plans with the mission of healing and empowering as many people as possible to spread love and light across the world. Love that. Thank you for trying to protect me, brain. Yes, Stephanie. I mean, you've got to remember your brain has 3 main jobs. It's always going to seek pleasure and avoid pain. It's always going to think of any new change as like something that's bad. And it always wants to conserve energy. So it wants you to eat Doritos and binge on Netflix. Okay. So anytime you attempt to do something different, which as we will do as entrepreneurs, we're constantly creating and testing and trying new things. Your brain's going to be like, what are you doing? Stop. This feels like too much hard work and you might fail and you might die. We've got to just be like, okay, brain, thanks. You know, talk to your brain like you're trying to reassure your best friend who's freaking out every 2 seconds. Megan, I want to sign 5 to 10 clients at full price into my signature program. My brain likes 7K months at the moment because I haven't hit that target yet. I'm more than ready to live in freedom financially and otherwise, like my inner self already is. Oh, I love that, Megan. Jan, founding the School of Light in collaboration. Oh yeah, got that one. Oh, Karen, love this. Oh, Karen, you get on so well with Jan, by the way. You really would. Karen, fully booked silent counseling practitioner training, one-to-one mindset and embodiment packages, group coaching, workshops, retreats, all with the foundation of freedom, aligned values, optimum health, strong. And oh my God, Karen, that sounds amazing. I love it. Yes, you guys need to, you and Jan, besties. I can see it happening. Megan, eat chips and binge Netflix. Yeah. I worry, Susie, I worry I can't make enough money because I'm struggling to see what it is I want, or respectively. I worry that what I want is not acceptable. Oh my God, Susie, this is so good. Right. Unmute. Tell me more about this.
Right. So, Jeremiah, you know what I do. And I see myself as a big CEO of this company that I've got,
Yeah.
and I feel like I don't have to work hard. Like, I don't really need to do much because the company I created is already doing itself, you know, like all the people I've employed, they are doing it, so I don't need to. So I'm like this big boss, you know, just going through big things and earning money. And I feel like, who am I? Like, and you know,
Mhm.
the work we do or did is like, how are people going to look at it? Like, oh, she doesn't do much and she's earning money, or, you know, all that.
Yeah. So it's like fear of being judged.
Yeah, maybe.
Fear of being judged. Like who people are going to be like, who am I to, who is she to be doing this? Or like that kind of, is that what you're saying? Is that, or is it more you judging yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like, can I earn all the money I want to earn?
Okay, so this is a capacity thing. Like, is it possible, or am I worth it? Is
Yeah,
it something
maybe.
along
I
those
think,
lines?
am I worth it? Like, who am I to earn all that money that I would like to earn?
Yeah, yeah. Who am I
Working
to
in-
earn that
yeah,
amount of money?
working in the charity sector when money is scarce is like in my head, I know it's possible, but still, like, should I keep small because that's what everybody else is doing?
Yes, especially when you're in the non-for-profit sector, like you're saying. Yeah, yeah. And Jan, maybe you can resonate with that as well, because she was also in that sector for a long time. Yeah. So then that's your money story, right? It's like how you can sort of calibrate this, like, I want to be in this sector and I also want to earn a lot of money. That's the conflict, right? Yeah. Well, it's just, you know what to do. It's just like getting all those thoughts out, quality control them, and rewrite the story. Like literally, it's as simple as that. This is the thing. It doesn't actually need to be that complicated. It's quite simple a lot of the time. You just need to rewrite the story and stick to the story. Stephanie says, a business coach I follow reminds us that people with less experience are earning more. Why can't we? So this is Stephanie, I was just talking to, I had a client this morning on a breakthrough session, and this came up and she was like, I just don't feel good enough. I just have never felt capable enough or good enough to earn the kind of money I want to be a match to. And I said to her, do you know what? Like, I remember my first sort of course that I did to like introduce me to this online coaching world was through Amy Porterfield, who's amazing, by the way. Great course, Digital Course Academy. It's great. And I remember her saying in the first lesson, you only need to have 10% more knowledge than the average layman to claim yourself as an expert. Now, I don't know where she got that stat from. She could have made it up, but I just remember the relief I felt after hearing that. Like, seriously? Oh, thank God, because I do have a master's degree. I remember thinking, oh, thank God, I do have a master's degree. So that's enough, right? Right? Like, that's me, got my 10%. I don't need the PhD and the published book and all that stuff. So yes, you just need to be one step ahead of your clients. Okay, so let's get back to this. So yeah, identifying what you want. That's the first step. Okay, second step, noticing, just like Susie did there, noticing what your limiting beliefs say you can't have. Okay, so it's exactly what you did as well, Rachel. So you've got your big desire, and then it's like, okay, come on, bring it on, brain. Like, what are you going to tell me now? It's going to come out with all these different thoughts. Ask yourself, what do I believe about this big dream that makes me feel this, insert emotion, fear, anxiety, doubt, inadequacy? Okay, so look at your desire and then ask yourself that question. What do I believe about this big dream that I have that makes me feel wobbly? Paula, is this more common in women? I have a male friend who has no hesitation about what he charges and how much. Such a good question, Paula. So I don't have anything to compare it with because I've never worked with men before, just women. But I'd imagine it is a more common problem in women because I think a lot of women have time out to have kids. And so naturally, when we go back to work, we think, oh God, I've missed out on so many years of experience. I'm therefore behind and I'll therefore accept less, whether you're an employee or not. I mean, that's just my thought there. Rachel, there are mediocre dudes walking around like they're worth millions. If they get to just take it, why not me? Why not me? You would share it, help others, do good with the community. Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to get big money in good people's hands. That's my mission anyway. Alison, an old mentor said you charge as much as you say you can without laughing. Yeah, I love that, Alison. That's amazing. One of my father-in-law is he's now retired, but he was a cardiovascular surgeon, and one of his friends worked privately, and he wanted to retire, so he doubled his hourly rate. It was like, I don't know, it went up to like £400 an hour to see him, and then he got busier than he'd ever been. So there's definitely psychology there. Okay. So step 2, notice what your limiting beliefs are. Anything that says you can't have what you want is a lie. Let's just play with this, right? Anything that says you can't have what you like Susie's saying, who do I think I am? And what are other people going to think? And I'm in the charity sector and blah, blah, blah. Let's just play with this. It's just a lie, right? And your job is to disprove it. Okay. So for example, is it ultimately true that the only way to make money is by working really hard? So any thoughts that come out there, let's just assume they're lies. And then your job is to disprove it. And that's the proactive part of this, right? Is to disprove it. Number 3, decide how you want things to be for you. Okay, so literally as if you are like the architect of your life, or like an artist painting something, you decide how you want things to be for you. And now that you know all your limiting beliefs you've held about money are just big fat lies, you decide what's true for you. You can make this up. And because money has no mind of its own, you just decide that money comes to you. You can just literally make it up. Stephanie, developing the mindset of finding proof that what I want is possible, finding proof of what I've manifested before. Exactly, Stephanie. So it's like, see, brain, it is easy to find clients. See, brain, I can make money. Even if it's like, I've trained my kids now to say, Mom, I'm a money magnet. If they find a penny down the back of the sofa or in the car, like we want to actually consciously train our brains. See, brain, I'm collecting evidence here, because there's a part of your brain that will literally go on a treasure hunt to find evidence to back up what you're thinking and feeling. And it'll usually be like all the crap stuff. So we want to actually train our brains and claim it back by training it to find evidence of the stuff that we do want to be looking out for. Okay. As you believe these things, this is what kind of happens in the process. As you start placing more attention to the thoughts that you want to think and that you would like to believe, you start showing up in life differently. Your expectations, standards, and goals sort of shift. And this is where the magic happens, because then you create your world actively. And this is an active process. This just doesn't naturally happen. So the question here is, what new ways of life and of money always working out for you are you ready to opt into? And I always like to think of this like, what have you got to lose? Right? Like, what have you got to lose by not trying? If you could opt into this belief that money always comes in excess and overflow, I am a money magnet. Because this is what my personal experience of this is when I started believing in these things, I naturally started showing up differently. When I decided, I think I can do this, I think I'm capable, I think I'm worth it, the certainty, the conviction was there, that energy, people respond to that. People want confidence, they want heartfelt, impact-driven people in their lives. They want connection, they want safety, they want belonging, they want to feel loved, and they want to feel valued. Nothing to lose, Marianne says. Yeah. Megan, I once had a coach who had me place money randomly around the house. Nice practice. I like that. Okay. So limitless possibilities for new financial realities exist all around you. So as an entrepreneur, you might decide that the most ideal clients who are ready to pay for you for your services in full are making their way to you now. That's just one thing I decided a long time ago. I played with that thought for quite a while. I was like, I'm just going to decide now that my people are waiting for me and they can't wait to pay in full. Or you could use this one. You could decide they are finding you, reaching out to you and signing up with ease. I had this thought with this coach I was telling you about when she's told me to change the energy. I said, I've just got this thought that like finding clients is like finding a needle in a haystack. That was the words that came out my mouth. And she was like, And that was I'm a very visual person. That was the image I was carrying. And she was like, how about you try this on, that there's a long like line of women who cannot wait for you to have a spot open up to coach with. And they're like waving their bank cards. Like they're just like so excited. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes me feel better, right? Like you get to decide. So yeah, thinking thoughts on purpose, thinking about what you don't want to think about is such a drain on your energy and a waste of time. It really is. You need to focus your energy on thinking about what you do want to think about on purpose. That word, on purpose, proactive. This is the inner work. This is what that looks like, deliberately, purposefully, intentionally. And it is a continual process of incremental growth, in my experience anyway. So limiting ideas will continue to rise up. Whoopsie, where have I gone? Oh, go back, go back, go back. Yeah, limiting ideas will continue to rise up to challenge the decision and declarations we make. It happens all the time. It's natural. Like every time you reach a new level and your nervous system feels good at 5K months, it's like, what about 7 or 8K months? And you get there and you're like, what about 10K? You know, it keeps going up and up. Okay, I think this is the last one. So knowing that unlimiting possibilities around money and your financial experience exist and that money is making its way to you now, you just have this energetic state where you feel differently and you see things differently and you you speak differently and you vibrate differently. For me, I call it relaxed trust. When I believe that money is coming to me and clients are coming to me, I go, oh, thank God, especially someone who's a big action taker. Okay, I can be like, okay, it's fine. I can put my stuff out there. I can get on with my life. I'm not like, has anybody liked my post? Has anybody commented? Da, 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 da. No, it makes me go, okay, that's fine. I can get into relaxed trust. I love this one as well about like, I used to like really grudge paying bills. Like, oh, there's more money gone. Now I literally pay bills with gratitude. Like I'm so grateful that I can have heating in my house, especially this time of year, and water. And I'm so grateful that I can go to a shop and buy food. And this has been a big shift for me. Like I take this sort of attitude of like, there's more where that came from. Like, it's fine. I can pay this bill with ease, knowing that money exists in the world and you've now opened up more to coming to you. Okay, so it's like that whole like what you appreciate appreciates. And opt out of this like it's never enough state of mind. And just ponder this idea of like there's a reality for you where excess and overflow exists. Just allow yourself to explore that. Okay, so abundance. It's time to know that we will succeed despite everything we've been through and regardless of anything in our way. So this comes up a lot with my clients who've experienced massive hardship in their childhood and they've sort of just over-identified with that. I'm like, well, how about success is possible for you when you show up differently and you think and feel differently? And I genuinely believe it's like there's this big movement going on, especially within like female entrepreneurs, but I think women across the world in employed positions as well, that we're kind of now giving ourselves permission to really step up and to dream big and to accept nothing less. I think there's a big movement happening, which is exciting to be a part of. Okay, so you might be sitting there going, this all sounds great, but like, tell me how you do it. That's what I'd be thinking, like, but how? Give me a plan. So how do you shift your energetic state every single day? I've got a few ideas for you. Let me know what you think of them. So one of the best ones I've done is spending time every day with my desired outcome, imagining that reality. And each time I do it, I get clearer and clearer on what that looks like. Okay. What would you be thinking and what would you be feeling if you already had what you wanted? So when you start imagining your desired reality and like visualizing it, it doesn't take long for those emotions to creep up of like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome. I'm so thankful that this is a possibility for me. So I want you to do that right now. I want you to just take a moment and be like, oh, if I could have anything I wanted, what would that look like? How would I feel? What would I think? Just write it down and like right now, or put it in the chat box and practice feeling into it as if it's already happened and it's true for you. Just practice. Let's just have a little go at this. I love that, Karen. You write paid with thanks on your bills. That's awesome. And yes, well, I learned that from you, that women didn't have their own bank accounts till the 1970s and couldn't even buy their own drink in a pub till 1982. Oh my God. And we wonder why we've all got money mindset issues, right? It's just insane. Rachel, I think I'm going to print a picture of women shaking money at me to bid up. Do you confuse the message if you have different pay rates? Is it okay to do mates rates for people with leisure? Of course it is, Paula. Yeah. Listen, you can do what you want. Yeah. Okay, Stephanie, feeling satisfied, content, and fulfilled, at ease. There's that word I love, at ease. Jan's excited, empowered, blessed, joyful, so lucky. Like, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Secure, at peace, content, fearless, feeling confident, at ease all the time in the world, feeling freedom and ease. Do you see this word ease? Comes up a lot, right? Happy, unstoppable. I love that, Megan. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the work, ladies, is to be, I mean, it's not work, right? It's nice. It's nice work. You just spend time every day after you brush your teeth or as soon as you wake up in the morning, make it part of your morning routine or your evening routine right before you go to bed, and you just allow yourself to dream and spend time with your big goal and be in those elevated emotions. Your job is not to figure out the how. It really isn't. That will naturally reveal itself. Your job is to focus on your desire. That's it. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you do specifically to feel differently. I'm very visual, so I like the visualization piece. It only matters that you begin to feel or be differently. So the vibe is this, like if you already had money and you already got the big raise, you already had the incredible new client, what would be the thinking, feeling, what would you be thinking and feeling and seeing now? So like, first of all, like what's the evidence, right? What is the evidence of your desired outcome coming true? So for example, it could be seeing your bank account balance. It could be maybe you get payment notifications. It could be the number of people you've worked with by the end of the year. But like, what is the evidence for you that your desired outcome has happened and it's come through for you? So that question, what would you know for sure? What would be true for you? And what would you be saying to yourself? So when you imagine, you see it. So for me, it's my, I use Kajabi, and it comes up with a little graph under it when you click on payments, and it tells you how much you've earned per month, per day, per week. And so for me, it would be seeing that. I'd be like, oh my God, I've done it. Like, I've done it. That's what I'd be saying to myself. Oh my God, I've done it. I've done it. Like, think about what you'd be saying, your body language. Here's my like, oh my God, I've done it. Your body language. And then that absolute like feeling of, for me, it's just pure joy and excitement. So get really clear on that. Like, what's the evidence? What will you be thinking and feeling and saying to yourself? Let me know in the chat box what you come up with. I did this exercise the other day with music, because music can be a really good like anchor to help you get into these states more often. And I was like, oh, what music would be good for like, I've done it. So I put on, you know, the Rocky theme tune. Put on that. It was really good. Okay, what's your evidence? Let me know in the chat box. What would you need to see for you to know, oh my God, I've done it? And how would it make, well, you've already said how you'd feel. Would it be payment notifications? Would it be your bank balance? Would it be number of people signed up on your course? What would be the evidence? Like, how is this now true for you that you've done it? Rachel says, money's sitting safely in a savings account, so I know I'm safe no matter what. Yeah, so maybe it's seeing your like ISAs grow, or your savings account get bigger. Paula says, number of people in the course, reviews, and money in a savings account. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I'm giving you a lot of information here, but here's some more things to practice. Practice expecting money to flow to you. This was a real game changer for me when I went from uncertainty to certainty. As certain as I can feel the sun will come up every single day, I get into that level of certainty. Like, of course, money's coming to me. And every time I feel doubts like creep on in, I'm just like, you can sit down. Like I'm training my dog. Sit down. Like we're not doing that anymore. That was the old me, right? And I just shift back into this absolute certainty and faith. So yeah, there it is there. Practice feeling into money faith. Money is always flowing because it is. It's always coming and going and coming and going. And there's way more money than we can ever imagine in this world, right? This is another crucial thing I've been playing with over the years, being detached from the outcome. So I used to get really like obsessed and fixated and like, oh, I've got this one-to-one program and this group program and I need to get this number of people in there and and it was like, woo, tunnel vision, right? But there are so many ways money can come to you. Even if it's something as small as like getting a coupon for getting a coffee, like we need to just be open and available to receiving money in all the ways, not just one of the ways. Oh, sorry, I've missed out on some messages here. Megan says, see my bank balance, the debt paid off, and knowing we as a family won't need to worry anymore. I visualize myself jumping up and down and going to pick out an RV and school bus with my kids and have money saved away too. Nice. Jan's going to be interviewed on TV, ladies, explaining how the world is changing because of the School of Lights. Oh my God, Jan, love that. Yes, Paula, just have to have the door open, just have to open the door to the postman. Okay, no problem. Yes, so this detached from the outcome thing, this took me a little bit of practice, not gonna lie, because I was like I was saying, quite fixated with this, but there are so many ways you can generate money. And so just being open and available. I love that. I'm open and available to receiving money in all the ways. That's a lovely little positive affirmation there. And you'd have your cool camper, obviously, Jan. Oh my God, Karen's got a camper as well. You could be camping buddies. You need to meet Karen. Okay, here are some of my favorite thoughts that I have played with over the years that I want to share. I trust myself. I trust money. I trust myself to make good decisions because I used to beat myself up for making bad decisions, especially all the investing, all the money in business coaching. I trust myself to show up. I trust myself to receive. Okay, so receiving is a big one because it can make us feel a bit vulnerable because when we're receiving, we're not in control. We're in control when we're giving. Okay, so that's an interesting one there. I'm open and available to receiving more, just said that. I trust that I'm deserving of money. I trust that I'm worthy of money. The more I trust myself, the more magnetic I am. I love that one. I am so safe to trust myself. And I can't see the last one because my little thingy's over it. Oh, it's safe to trust money. It is safe. It all comes down to safety because any time you are self-sabotaging, It's because so it's like, okay, here's my central nervous system, my beautiful brain, where I feel safe that money is coming and it's going to show up, and it's going to show up in excess and overflow, more than I even need. This is another good thing to practice, is just practicing peace with where you are. Okay, thinking of all the things you have and all the abundance around you, and that all possibilities exist. So I think it was you, Susie, I was talking to about this recently, with even just opening the fridge and being like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for being able to choose from this food that I have in my fridge. You know, that wasn't the case, you know, during the war. You know, it's like just feeling into that abundance of like opening your wardrobe and be like, huh, I get to choose what I want to wear today. Like, it doesn't mean, it's not all about money, because ultimately, when you think about it, what are you wanting? What do you really want? What does money get? Money's just a tool, right? What does it get you ultimately? When you think about it, it usually comes down to freedom. So how can you tap into the frequency of freedom? You can do that without having money in your bank. You, especially as an entrepreneur, you have the freedom to create new offers. You have the freedom to put posts out there. You have the freedom to set your own schedule to work with whoever you want to work with. So get into the energy of freedom. Megan says, the detached part is the hardest part for me. You got to be like a cat, Megan. So you know how like dogs are like, love me, love me, love me, love me. I love you. Love me back. Love me, love me, love me. And a cat's just like, just give me the food and I might turn up. Like, you've got to have like cat energy. Like, I'm over here doing my thing and I'm totally detached, whether you want to work with me or not. Like, that's your choice. I'm not going to be in push energy. I'm not going to force you. But if you're like dog energy comes across. Karen, I love the freedom that money brings me. Yeah, it's about the freedom, definitely. So I think I've drilled this in probably enough, but just in case you forgot, money is always going to reflect what your thoughts and beliefs are. So do the work, ladies. Here's some more. My people love to pay me. That is a good one if you're an entrepreneur. Money flows easily to me. I'm a money magnet. Literally imagining yourself vibrating from this frequency of love and passion and creativity and just magnetize them. Like, my people love to pay me. I'm a money magnet. Clients are easy to find and they are everywhere. Not my original, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. How unhelpful is that? What I have to offer is valuable and life-changing. Like, I genuinely believe we all have a secret sauce. Every single person on this planet has a secret sauce. What you have to offer is valuable and life-changing. It's easy and fun to make money. Imagine believing that. You'd show up so differently. You'd be playful. You'd be having fun. I can change the world by helping women change the way they see themselves. I mean, that's one of my favorites, obviously, with my line of work. And I love this one. I'm in high demand. I've got a waiting list. This is the beauty of this stuff. You get to choose what you think. I love money and money loves me. Love that, Karen. You like the cat energy as opposed to the dog energy. Now, I'm a dog person through and through. I'm not really a big fan of cats, but I like cat energy when it comes to like, here's me doing my thing over here, you know, take it or leave it. Okay. So choose a handful. Like I said, I'll send you the recordings of this, but choose a handful of thoughts and decide, this is where I live now. And any old thoughts, because we're embodying a new identity here, ladies, tell them to sit down. Just not doing that anymore. It's a hard, easy no. I've no idea what the time is because I don't have a watch, but if I'm over time, I do apologize. But if you're happy to continue, has anybody got the time? Were you good for time? 2:25. Okay. No problemo. Thanks, guys. Yeah, don't worry, Karen. If you need to go, that's fine. You can catch the rest on replay. So here's the other thing I want to share. Like, we've done a lot of work already on like, what are the thoughts and beliefs holding this in place? There'll be all the memories as well. But what about like getting into the feelings? Like, what about the actual like feelings you want to create? Creating new money stories begins with faith, right? This is what I've realized my whole coaching program is about. It's about relinquishing control and being in trust and faith. Faith in yourself, faith in other people, faith in those invisible life forces that exist to co-create with us. Faith in these principles and faith in something greater. That's what I mean by the invisible life forces. So whether you call that God, source energy, universe. So here's what you can do. Visualize. Like I said earlier, spend time with your desired outcome. What evidence can you imagine that means you've achieved your desired outcome? Just like we said about before. Is it payment notifications? Is it number of people, your bank balance? Be with that. Make it clear, make it bright. Put music on, get your Rocky theme tune on. Speaking. So actually speaking and thinking in line with something you desire, so that to get yourself into that vibrational state that's a match for your big vision. So for example, oh my God, it worked, it happened. I don't know how it would happen, but now it's mine. Like just using those sorts of words, like I did it, like, oh my God, I did it, like amazing, amazing. Like actually just like get playful with this, just as if you're kind of acting it out. I'm a big fan of journaling. You could make a gratitude list. And from those feelings of gratitude, as you're in, like, as you've like drummed up those feelings of gratitude for everything that you've made a list for, you then make a list of your desires straight away, carrying over those feelings of gratitude. And as you think of the things you want, notice how amazing it feels to have the things you have. Okay, so that's a nice way to sort of like bridge the gap. And movement. I'm also a big fan of movement. Get those endorphins flowing. So run, walk, dance, anything that opens you up to that flow state, and then tune into the vibration of money. So feel, like imagine, feel money coming into you, experience clients signing up, celebrate that debt disappearing, like paying off that credit card, feel the excitement, the joy, and typically a little bit of relief always comes in, and just know it has occurred. Okay, so this might feel a bit kind of what's the word, like you might feel a bit funny doing this to begin with. It feels like you're faking it a little bit, but just practice. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Yeah. So for example, I did it. It's working. It worked way better than I ever thought it could. I got everything I wanted. I'm so proud of the way it happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like using your words intentionally with energy. So you might be thinking by now, like, it still sounds great, but there's still the action that needs to be taken, right? Like, how do I then do this? Honestly, the how is not your responsibility. And this was really difficult for me to kind of go along with when I first got taught this. Your job is to solely focus on your desire, on how it would feel to already have it. And my genuine, like, honestly, my personal experience of this is when I do this and I lean into my desire and what I would love to happen, ideas just come. The how naturally reveals itself when you have your clear intention and you're in your elevated state. There's no need to figure it all out. There's no need to obsessively analyze and problem solve. Your job is to focus on removing your limiting beliefs and becoming a vibrational match to your desired outcomes. That's it. You'll just get these like little messages and like serendipities and sort of nudges. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. And that's when you take action on it. It's the inspired action piece. Release the how. Okay, just release the how, which is really tricky if you're kind of a logical thinker like me. Okay, last little bit, when it looks like it's not working. This will naturally happen as you're learning any new skill. You're likely to fall off your bike when you're learning how to ride a bike. So it's totally normal to feel like, oh my God, this isn't working. This is what you do, right? You come back to the feeling of it already being mine. You come back to that feeling of certainty that it's already yours. You think the thoughts, you say the words, you imagine the images, and you feel the feelings of this thing being in your reality. This is the trickiest bit when you go into this doubt of like, oh my God, it's not working. This is the trickiest bit, this bit, to shift back into that certainty and trust. And you thank the universe for it, and then you let it go. Okay, we don't want to clutch onto it. We're not clinging or hoarding here. We're just going to like feel so grateful, and then we're going to go let it go. We're going to get on with our lives. We're going to feel it being ours, feel gratitude that it's like, it's happening, it's ours, it's mine. Oh my God, I've done it. And then you're just going to take the dog out and you rinse and repeat. Okay. Okay, ladies, if you have to hop off, no problem at all. I'm going to give you a little some more information about how we can work together. So the obvious question, stay where you are or take a quantum leap into your best self. Thanks, Susie. Love you too. Bye. So I know a lot of you here know me already and what I offer, but I would love for you to have a little look at my signature program, which is called Success Becomes Her. So in a nutshell, this program shifts your mindset from past focus to future focused. Everything we've talked about today, obviously it's been a money focus today, but we can focus on whatever you want to focus on inside this program. Thanks, Jan. See you soon. You want to embody new beliefs. That's what we work on. We work on disembodying old beliefs, embodying new beliefs, and we work on processing feelings healthily. Because what I've realized is we're all absolute experts at, like, thanks, Marianne, thanks, Karen, at tabooing emotions. We all do it. If it feels uncomfortable, we resist it and we just busy ourselves with other things. We also use your imagination to create exactly what you want. Just in the way that we've talked about in this masterclass, we focus on that visualization piece. And if you struggle with visualization, I did as well. That's another skill that you can hone in on and improve and get better with practice. So when you work with me, you will learn to master your emotional state. You embody the most powerful version of yourself. And you take bold, aligned actions that flow effortlessly from your next level identity, okay? So basically, we're going to cut through the noise and we focus only on the big money-making moves, if that's what you want to do, that truly align with your vision and create more income and more impact in your business with ease, joy, and unshakable confidence. I mean, how good does that sound? But it's true. We don't want to be taking any action from those contracted states of overwhelm, frustration, doubt, fear. It's just, that's not how we do things. We put that stuff down, we process that first and foremost, and then we shift into a more empowered, elevated state first. It's energy first, then action, and it's inspired action. We don't need a million business coaches or marketing coaches, okay? So it's a 12-week program. And really by the end of this 12 weeks, I went through all of my testimonials recently and I've come up with this. It's about embodying unshakable confidence. And with confidence comes the conviction and certainty, right? You lead your business and your life with clarity and purpose. There's no more confusion. Confusion just kills conversion. And you step fully into your next level identity. And what happens is when you do this, you create aligned success, amplified impact, limitless income, all while feeling deeply connected, balanced, and empowered in who you are. The word balanced and connected is really important there because that's very much, that comes up a lot with my ladies. They want work-life balance. They don't want to sacrifice any more time, any more energy. Okay. Oh no, Alison, you had a power cut. Oh God. Don't worry, you'll get the replay. I'm just talking about my signature program, Success Becomes Her. There's 3 sort of phases that we work through in Success Becomes Her. There's the clearing and healing, awakening and aligning, and inspired action. So I'll just give you a quick bit of information about them. So this bit's the kind of hard part of the program, if I'm honest with you. We take a deep dive and we uncover the root cause of what's holding you back. We take full ownership over your patterns. So you've got to have that feeling of ownership without blaming other people or your external circumstances. And we basically, in this stage, build an unshakable foundation of inner safety. So we get all the selves. We get the self-worth, the self-confidence, the self-belief, self-efficacy, self-trust. And we work on this and we get this solid, because when you have a solid sense of inner safety and you have all the selves, that's when you feel that you can liberate yourself to go after your dreams. So this is the hard part, but it's the most important part. It's like the foundations. You've got to have this in place to build your walls and your roof. Imagine it being like a house. This is the big piece here in this first stage. Then once we've done that, it's like someone's hit the reset button. You're like, oh, okay. right, I've got this new way of being. Like, what's next? Well, you need to do this like awakening and aligning process. So you're stepping into this new way of being that allows you to sustain the elevated state, your creativity, your passion, your gratitude, your love, where your desired results flow effortlessly to you. So this is about maintaining those elevated states without suppressing the stuff that will naturally come up, like the fear and the doubt. We're not about suppressing that. It's about managing that and stepping into this new version of yourself every single day to show up from that state of being. So it's a lot more about embracing this trust and surrendering and freeing yourself from this need to control the outcomes and clinging onto it, or relying solely on sheer force and willpower, which was me. I'll just make it happen. It's all on me. And the third part is the nice bit. It's all about taking the inspired action. So this is when you get really attuned with your intuition and you confidently follow those little nudges. It's so much fun, this part. It kind of like feels like magic. You get these little insights and ideas and you just take action on them. And they always work out because you're in that flow state and it feels so much fun. It feels light and easy and like bubbles in champagne. That's what it feels like compared to heavy hustle, draining energy. I've got loads of amazing testimonials as well. These are just a selection of a few of them. You can read through them. So this is the kind of program, like there's two ways you can work with me. You can work one-to-one or you can work in a group. I have a group starting in January, February next year. I've got 2 spots available for one-to-one right now. And I basically coach you through this program. There's like 10, within those 3 phases, there are 10 powerful interventions that go way above and beyond mindset. This is a real mind, body, emotion, soul system. It connects all the pieces. So if you're living in your head a lot, this is great for you to connect the dots and get into your body. So with the group program, you get 1 breakthrough session, a one-to-one coaching call with me, and that's like a diagnostic session. We just get in there and we dig out all the stuff. Then you'll get 10 group coaching calls where I'll take you through what I call them these like change patterns. And they've been meticulously engineered to clear all the most common distorted thinking patterns and limiting beliefs. You get lifetime access to all of them. I've recorded them as audios, and you get like little tasks and homework stuff and workbooks and resources. And with the group program, you get a lovely private Facebook community group. And I always get amazing guest speakers as well. I think I've got Anna and Alessandra in the next cohort. Yes, I do. Here we go. Anna is a lovely sales strategist. She's local to me. Alessandra is just amazing. She's my breathwork coach. So they're like beautiful human beings. And all I need from you, if you feel like you're interested in this program, is just commitment to turn up and do the work. And I think I've made it clear in this masterclass, there's no magic wand here, but I am like your biggest cheerleader and I'll be supporting you every step of the way. The investment fee for the group, it will be going up to 3,000 the next round. This round I'm keeping it at 2,500. And for the one-to-one, it's 3,500. That's going up to 4,000 on the 1st of January. And like I said, 2 spots available, and you can just DM me to chat more. And I just want to sort of, before we wrap up, like remind you why you're here. Like it's time to move beyond the superficial, right? And connect you with your infinite potential. I genuinely believe this is why I'm here and why this is my mission and my vision is to help women around the world really step into their best selves. I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's true. And I also believe, like I said earlier, that everybody has a secret sauce and it's time to share your gifts with the world. And your people are out there right now waiting for you to make yourself visible and known. And also, it's definitely time to let go of these societal norms and limiting beliefs that money grows and doesn't grow on trees that have shaped your narrative and start writing a new one. A one that your future self can't wait for you to start embodying. Like I said, you can just make this up. You can rewrite your story. You can create a new identity. You are not your personality, right? Like this is all malleable stuff. And of course, there's a nice little fast action bonus. So if you sign up in the next couple of days, you get an extra one-to-one call with me. And for the group, if you sign up before Christmas, you get £250 discount, pre-sale discount. That is it, my lovely ladies. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? I do apologize, we've gone over time slightly, haven't we? But I'm here to answer any questions if you want to unmute. And if you're interested in the program, we can arrange a little Zoom call, or you can chat to me in the DMs. Alison says, people are still investing, even though it's just, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, people are investing now for 2025 so that they're set up and ready to go, yeah. You're welcome, Megan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Rachel. Yeah, reach out, ladies, if you want to have a chat about any work going forward. Paula says your mind buzzing with thoughts and ideas. Yeah, I offer, this is my signature 12-week program, but I do the breakthrough sessions as a standalone one-to-one call, and they're pretty phenomenal as well. So yeah, if you want to work with me, we can make it happen. There's multiple payment plan options as well, because I want to be as flexible as possible and get this program into all of your hands so we can get going with changing the world and creating a beautiful life for ourselves. Okay, ladies, I'll let you go, and thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate your time today, and it's been a pleasure to talk money mindset with you. Okay, take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, Alison. Take care.